Happy Easter. Happy Easter. So, a video. I woke up very early this morning with a wine glass on my face. Food line, blah, blah. I didn't have a wine glass on my face. I've been sleeping on the floor in that room so that I can be able to assist my Paul. My Paul can't even stand up. Yeah, I know. It's bad. I feel bad for him. He didn't even know it was Easter. And I was like, I I had a really emotional uh, Good Friday, which I'm a Christian, and I have a different sort of relationship, I think, with Christ. I don't like the church at all. I don't like the paganization of all the holidays because that's really just other things that are muddled in and make it makes you take a picture of yourself. I am. It makes it muddles up all the other history and stuff. I think still a little bit sick. I missed a call last night because I had it blocked from my friend 27, who was really mean to me. She's kind of been a bitch. She did say she apologized for being a bitch, and which I appreciate. And then I told her some things because I kind of do like her. She is a bitch though, but I want to make out with her, make sweet love to her, even though she's a bitch because she has the love of God. See, I don't know if these bugs, buddy. It's like I see them 1,000 miles away. Don't you dare go off, buddy. I can see them from everywhere. The funny thing about it, I think, this is why I want to make this video because I just think it's interesting, is that I wanted her to come over because I wanted to make out with her. I say that. I say that. Kind of, you kind of know what I mean. But I didn't. I didn't say any of that to her. I didn't say any of that to her. The other girl got mad. She thought that I was hooking her man up with him out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. And I'm like, but it was because she needed this lawyer's number, and I had to ask her. I had to ask the other girl for it to give it to her. I had been not using her name and calling her other stuff in these videos. I haven't used her name. I don't want to put her out there like that because that's the important part that I think everybody has their right to be, um, not wanting to be socially blast or whatever. And I do respect that. I understand it too. I understand it too. But we do all know each other. These other people I know, they're really good friends of mine. They've been really good friends. They have really been really good friends. And I equally love the other girl, my friend's girlfriend. Just out of just the general. I love them as my friends. I love her. I think she's attractive, but I'm not going to mess with her. I'm not going to flirt with her or do nothing like that while she's with this guy. And I made the mistake of calling them married, and she got mad at me. She didn't like that. Well, I don't know if she was as much as mad at me, but I don't understand why the other girl, the one I called 27, had a boyfriend, and I was like, why isn't he not? Why is he not married? Why have you? Why has he not tried to marry you yet either? And they supposedly broke up, which is why I wanted her to come over. While my dad was not, because she could have helped me. She could have helped me, but like I said, it's been a long time. Other people don't give a shit. They switch partners, they throw shit around, whatever. But I've actually been working on my love, you know, and all the little bullshit attachments that it has. And there was some weird psychic phenomenon shit that went on that I don't want to get into, but it was like it has to be because of the invisible world, the spirits and stuff like that. You know, it was actually a friend that we had that said some weird shit that I thought was kind of sexy or whatever. I thought it was funny about the other girl that is the couple that has all the kids, and this other guy that burned off on the girl that I like. He tried to do that to her. She told me he wanted to do some weird shit with me, and and she's like, I'm not into that. And it was funny because it was the other girl, and it affected the situation, but nobody did anything. The guy that didn't want to be married to the girl that I like burnt off. I just let the other person know, look, I'm not going to do that. I'm the one that hasn't had any women. I'm the one that doesn't have even a lady friend. So why in the fuck would I be trying to hook up your man with somebody that I want to hook up with? That doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. The reason why it didn't make any sense that it manifested to her as a fear or an anger was because demons become exposed, entities become exposed. She was able to say that, and I was able to clear it up. The other one quit talking to me, and it upset me because I did need all this help, and I'm overwhelmed, and I'm in this fucked up position. But it's okay. But it's like she kind of attacked me when I was down and needed help. The other people helped me, but this one person did not really help me. I paid her to take me to the grocery store, and just having her around made the other girl think she was going to be fucking her man or some bullshit, stupid shit like that. She apologized, because I blocked her number. I wasn't going to talk to her anymore, you know. And this last time I tried to do that, Spirit told me, you don't get to do that. You don't get to just say you're not engaged anymore. I used her to help me deal with a personality like that that's mean and hateful that I'm attracted to, because I don't think I don't want to be with somebody like that that's stupid or can't understand something or can be easily confused or doesn't just realize that I want a lady friend. Does that make sense? So all these things happen, and I try to explain to her. She's probably not going to understand. But she has there's a few of these girls that have real fucked up encounters with death, and their boyfriends commit suicide or something crazy happens, you know, and none of them have any compassion. Like if it's like if they need a guy because they have a kid and they can use the guy, they don't have no problem doing that, and they'll have sex with all those people. But if one person says, "Hey, I might isolate and use drugs, and I probably could use the companionship because I'm actually addicted to sex, not the drugs. I have an addiction to that. That's where my psychology lies, and I know that. I know my psychology, so I did put it out there to see. I'm like, I wanted to see how what the response would be, and the response was crickets, which was funny because there's nothing wrong with me, but it made the other people look at their self, made them look at their self, and they didn't want to do that. It was like doom. It's like, I'm look at you from the place that you can't go. Ah! It was like that. It was very weird because I know myself. I know what's going on. I know how to communicate. I even know how to use my intimacy to communicate. Unfortunately, so I'm just stuck out to be alone. So that's all right. I don't care. I have my friends. I'll support them. They help me out. The other person, I've shown a lot of compassion and love to. That they can't really accept it or whatever, or they're not going to be that helpful to me unless they can get something. Which I don't have time for that. I can't do nothing with that. But she has all the spiritual groundwork done to be able to. It would be useful. It would be helpful. It would be helpful. But nobody wants to be helpful. They just want to do for themselves and their own relationship. They don't care about my relationship, or if it's not. There nobody's interested in that. So whatever. So I'm okay. I don't care. I didn't mind explaining it to somebody, but she's not going to understand and get confused and probably ain't going to talk to me no more. So whatever. Get with another guy and let him suicide himself. I don't give a fuck. And that's not really true, but I mean, it kind of pisses me off. But I mean, that's basically what this society's picking because they don't want to have traditional society anymore. Nobody wants to have a traditional relationship anymore. Nobody wants to. They just want to fuck who they want to fuck and pass around, or get in a relationship and have a kid and then take the kid away from the other parent. Our society is devolving, and that's the point. And it doesn't have to devolve. I have to tell. When some two people are together, I assume that their information can pull together like they know each other. So I told him, I'm like, I assume that you know the things that I think she knows. So I put it on the table and I laid it out, and I got yelled at, because I don't know. And I still like the other girl. If they break up, I'll try to hit on her, But I'm not an acceptable. I'm not in a position to be anybody's sugar daddy, and I'm not even in a position to be my own sugar daddy or in control. I'm in a co-op uh, relationship with my dad. I'm the housewife at my dad's house because I got to take care of him, and now he's bedridden. So I don't appear to be any sort of value to anyone that wants to a monetized male. You know, they treat me very rude on one respect. Because of the feminist movement, the way that women act, they want to be the same on one hand and have all this shit to prove to people. Oh, I don't need a man. I can do it by myself. They're all like that, but they don't have any real compassion. The feminine element isn't even there in any of them. You know, so I don't. That there's nothing I can do about that other than note it. I don't want to have a relationship with somebody that's gonna just not be a woman and nurturing and caring and shit like that. I've already had a out of wedlock baby with somebody that was just mean as hell, talk shit uh, uh to me when we were in public, and tried to be the fucking one on top and shit like that. And I would leave. I would jump out the car and leave. I wouldn't even go to work with her. She got this job doing this paper thing and I would have to go and do everything with her, and she didn't even bring the papers when she signed them to like ask me about anything. She's just going to do it all herself, and was just going to, use me in the way that a guy would use a girl. To be honest, that's what it is. They want to be the men in the relationships, and they don't want equality. They want all the power of the men, and they want to have the power of the pussy too. And I don't want your pussy. If that's how you are, it's actually not worth it, and that's just the way it is. Because those people really ultimately aren't very, you know, they're not the type of people you want to be in a relationship because their psychology isn't right. Some of them's not as wrong as it is, but it's messed up by society. Mine's not completely okay. I'm not saying I'm any better, but that's what I'm saying. Easter is a good time for this because the descent of Inanna and the elements of that in the crucifixion and raising of Christ. Because you can be a Christian and you can be aware of your divine sexuality without being a monk, a hermit, or a priest that's fucking boys. If you communicate about it and you try to figure your shit out, then you have a chance of doing that rather than just pretending that you're all holy and chaste and be like the fake people that go to church. Men and women have energy dynamics that go together. For thousands of years, men and women have had families that they've raised children in. There's been a mom and dad. It's not been Rick and Steve. And I believe in that. But I don't care what gay people do. That's the rub, is that although I don't care and it's not up to me, I don't think it's sanctioned by God or nature. So I'm at odds with it. So the Christians will have to pay the price for, you know, the transgender army because they think they're being genocided and they're not. Happy Easter.